it loaded, keep it loaded, keep it loaded. Better nice, I'm looking at the camera. Better nice, good, good, good. All right, you hitting cones already?
I'm just seeing how strong. I mean, if you hit one hard, you could go down. They're pretty stiff.
So I'm glad he said that, because this happens all the time. Remember I told you guys that everybody wants everything smooth and straight and you don't want to feel anything. So there's a reason why I use cones this size and I don't use all of my cones this size. If your front wheel rolls over one of these cones, what most people do is as soon as they feel that, clutch in. That's why the bike drops. When really, this thing ain't gonna do nothing to your motorcycle. If you feel that, just keep your clutch open. Or if your clutch was closed, open it. Again, that's what trust and believe is all about. It's about you feeling something, and this is your reaction. So, Vanessa and, damn it, I can't remember who the last person was. But, oh, I'm sorry, it was Penelope. Yes. Two people that had the clutch in too far. That's why I want you starting right before the friction zone. Because remember, we talked earlier about what keeps the bike up at slow speeds. Sufficient power. And that's why that word sufficient is so important, because the problem is if you're starting from the grip, foot up, the bike starts falling. You have the presence of mind, hey, I got to open my clutch. But while you're opening the clutch, trying to find one, the bike is still falling. And by the time you get to one, that power is not sufficient. So you put a foot down. As soon as I told her put the clutch right before the grip, boom, that's what solved it. Because now the power is instantaneous. And that's what we want. I don't want to waste time trying to find it. Now I do know that if I feel it and I'm not there, I know just keep opening your hand, Rob. I trust and believe because it took time to develop that, right? So again, you're not going to meet somebody and get in a relationship and trust and believe them right away. It's going to take time. You got to earn that. And that's what this is all about. So that wasn't bad at all. Some of you guys were preload, too low. And when Shannon, when Shannon, she went to go and the bike, it stopped. She put her foot down. And so I said, what happened? And she said, I opened the clutch too quickly. I have to tell you guys something. There's nothing you guys are going to do or say out here that I've never heard. So I want you to know everything that you're doing is extremely common, extremely common. So I said to her, you're never going to open your clutch too fast. Because if I have the clutch, if I have my preload loaded and I open the clutch fast, what's going to happen? The bike's just going to go. But that's why we're always covering the rear brake. So that's not a big deal. Or just as fast as I opened it, I can close it. The problem was it stalled. And I told you guys that's going to happen because you're so focused on that clutch, you forget about the preload. Okay? All right.
How long does it take the average person to rewire their muscle memory to not instinctively?
Tell me, Jimmy. Jimmy's question is, how long does it take the average person to get this? To not put their foot down? What the hell's the average person? Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, there's no, I'm guaranteeing there's no data or statistics to answer that question because we're all so different, right? At the end of the day, it's your fear factor that matters the most. Because I understand, like when I said, do you trust and believe it? Everybody, yeah, yes, because you understand it. It's repetition equals retention. You just got to keep doing it, right? It doesn't necessarily have to just be that exercise, but definitely that exercise. Because if I ask you to do that while the bike's moving, it's going to be a little bit easier for you. But that's just, again, this is always what we're fighting, our mind. Anybody out here have any physical disabilities that will prevent them from doing any of this stuff? No. It's our mind. That's all it is, okay? Foot up, wait until you feel falling, clutch. Okay, and the better you get at that, trust and believe, that's going to make everything else easier for you to do. Because the other stuff only is difficult because you fear dropping the bike. When you don't fear that anymore, like for instance, when we get to U-turns, We'll talk about it when we get there, but I'm giving you 27 feet. Some people will go, all right, I got 24, I want 23 now. I want 22 now. I want 21 now. What's the difference between 27 and 21? Your fear. That's it. Because the difference is, initially, you're going to turn the handlebars this much and lean this much, because that's all your fear will allow you to do. The more confident you get, you turn more, you lean more. The more you turn and more you lean, the tighter your turn. This shit is not that, you know what I mean? It just is what it is. It's not difficult at all. Rephrase. It's not complicated. Okay? Everything's easy when you know how to do it. Okay? You guys know how to do it. You're just reluctant to do it. Okay? All right. Any other questions? Beautiful. That brings me to exercise number 4, my highest failure rate out of everything out here. Even though there's no pass or fail out here, it's my highest failure rate. This is right turns, left turns from a stop. Who has never practiced this? Okay, good. What's your strength, right turns or left turns?
They're both pretty equal.
Nobody's equal. Well, you're going to learn today. What you say? All right, so right now we'll say we're not sure. We'll find that out today. Again, that's what this is about. It's about finding out our weaknesses and strengths. Strength?
Probably left.
Left?
Left.
Left?
I do.
Left.
Left.
Right.
Right? Left?
Or left.
Left?
Right.
Right.
Left.
Left?
Left.
Left?
Are we marching? Left.
Left. I know, right? That's what-
Left.
Left?
I really don't know.
We'll find out.
Right.
Right. So you notice it's a lot of lefts, right? Why is that? Nobody knows. Any answer you hear to that question is bull. Nobody knows. Oh, I'm right-handed, left-handed. None of that matters. Covering your heart. I've heard all kind of dumb shit. All right. So this exercise, guys, usually, whatever answer you gave me, you're answering a question for a U-turn, because most motorcycle riders don't turn like this. All right. So this exercise, all this is everything we've done, but now we're turning. Okay? And you're going to learn that every time we do something new, I'm not going to be saying, okay, it's time for some new techniques. It's always the same stuff. That's why I say if you get the foundational stuff down, everything else is easier. So as we're approaching this turn, let's say we're going to make a left turn first. On the approach, that's when I want to get everything together. Preload, I like the way it sounds. Set it and forget it. Clutch, what stage of the friction zone am I in? 2, boom, I'm going to keep it there. Rear brake, am I going to use that? Yeah, I'll use a little bit of it. Drag it. So keep in mind, guys, I'm always gauging how much rear brake I'm going to use. But the first thing I want to gauge is clutch. So when I first start moving, sometimes I open up the clutch, I do a 2, and then I go back down to maybe a 1.5, 1 3/4. I'm trying to gauge how much rear brake I actually need, because I don't want to use a lot of it. I don't need a lot. So here's where it happens. Now, when you guys are doing this, if your handlebars are going like this, you need more clutch. You're not going to be ready to turn if this is happening. So when you get right here, what comes first, Val? Head and eyes or handlebars?
Eyes. Head and eyes.
Head and eyes. Head and eyes. So guys, head and eyes doesn't mean turn your head and eyes here. It's too late. Something's coming. You're already hit. I also don't want you to turn your head and your eyes here. This doesn't make sense, right? Head and eyes, handlebars. When I go to turn my handlebars, this is when people start changing stuff. And they don't change small things. They change big things. And that's why things go wrong. So they start here. I don't like the way that feels. Clutch in, bike drop. Or clutch out. What does it always want to do with power?
Go straight.
And this is where they go, right? I prefer the second one more than the first, because my goal is I don't want you to put your feet down, right? I'd rather you, even if you open the clutch up too much and you don't correct it with the rear brake, at least you knew open the clutch. Don't put your foot down and pull the clutch in. Okay, so we talked about this. As I'm making this turn, if I feel the bike falling to the left, how do I correct it? Clutch, or come off the rear brake. But see, this is where I talked about we don't give and keep giving. We give and take back. Because if I just give clutch, this is what I'm going to get. So I have to give and take right back. Because we're doing this, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this, if you don't already know this, straight up. This is the gravel road, like I was talking to you guys about. This is how you ride on gravel. This is how you turn on gravel. So in order for me to make this turn straight up with 0 lean, 2 miles per hour is the fastest you should be going. So if you lean even a little bit, I'm going to call you on it. You're leaning. You're on your ass if that's gravel. Okay? Straight up. First time we do this, guys, we're going to go straight through. We're going to start going left, I'm gonna put my camera over there. When you turn your head and your eyes, look at my camera, say cheese. And when you turn, hold the turn, hold it. Because your goal is to be in the middle. That's your goal, whichever direction we're going. If you're a little wider than that, I don't care. If you're past the cones, you hit the cones, stay the course. I want to see where you end up. I want you to see where you end up. And then we can work on, well, why are you all the way out there? The number one culprit is too much speed. The other thing is you're turning the handlebars too late. This does not require a full lock turn unless you wait too late to turn. So you got to kind of figure that out. That's why I put higher cones here, because people were turning early and I see the bags going right over the cone. So this is the accountability cones. Head and eyes, handlebars. If I start turning here, I'm good. I don't have to do a full lock turn. Then we're going to do this from a stop. You guys can stop anywhere in this box, but your front wheel has to be at least on this line. So when we're making a left turn, if you want to come over here, that's fine. But I want you to realize that at some point, maybe not today, but at some point, I need you to be here making this turn. Because here's what happens, especially if you're in the city, sometimes you stop at an intersection and it's a stop sign, but it's a busy intersection. So now you just have to kind of wait to go. And if there's a car parked here on an SUV, you can't see anything from back here. So you got to come up here. Now the problem is, if that's a double yellow line and there's traffic coming this way and you got to go that way, you're waiting for your chance, especially under pressure. Once it's time for you to go, what most people are going to do is they're going to give too much clutch and they're going to go over this line. This happens all of the time because, like I talked about earlier, there's no middle ground. Everything is fast, speed. When really, all I have to do, 2 rear brake or 2 to 1. The point is I got to cut some power so that I don't go wide, okay? Speed is always going to take us wide, okay? All right. And then the last thing we're going to do is I'm going to have you stop, wherever you're going to stop, make the turn, smooth stop. Don't pass those last cones. This is getting you accustomed to stopping coming out of a turn. This is when most people drop their bikes because they come into a stop, they're going too fast, and then if they need to stop right there, front brake, boom, bike down. Get that bike to stand up, and how do I do that? Friction brake. The same thing we did in exercise number 1 is more important coming out of a stop because this happens often. Somebody goes to make a turn, they commit to the lean slightly, and then they see something. Now, bike's already in a turn, and the handlebars already turned, the bike's in a slight lean, it's starting to move. And I need to stop. How am I going to do that? How am I going to handle that, Jim?
Could you repeat the question?
Bike's lean, or you're starting from a standstill, you got the handlebars turned, you open the clutch, you go into a slight lean, and then you see something. Now you need to stop. How are you going to handle that?
Normally I clutch the front.
Yeah, exactly. That's what most people would normally do because the answer to when you don't know anything else to do is always brake, stop. That's why the bike falls. But we know now we're going to know, what does the bike always want to do with power? Stand up and go straight. I need to stand the bike up. I can't just stop it if it's already starting to lean. So that's why I'm going to use friction brake, meaning I'm going to open the clutch but brake at the same time. So I'm still stopping, but I'm stopping like this instead of like that. Okay? It's always relevant, guys. Friction brake, clutch, power, blah, blah, blah. That's what keeps us up. As soon as we get that, the easier all of this gets. And after we go left, we're going to go right. Any questions on that?
Yeah.
What do you have?
My biggest failure rate is where to look. So when you're turning here,
Look at my camera.
At the camera, but the camera's not there. And those are insecure with these turns. I'm looking at the ground, and
Okay.
that's where I fail a lot.
Yeah, so the camera will be there.
Right. So,
But even if it's not, you always look where you want to go.
but what if I'm scared about crossing that double yellow line?
So, okay, good question. She said, what if she's scared about crossing the double yellow line?
I'm watching for that.
If I look this way, because keep in mind, guys, as I'm approaching, what should we always be doing when we're riding our motorcycles out there in the real world? Scanning and anticipating. So as I'm approaching, I've already scanned all of this. And because I practice in these cones, I already can judge this space. I know what my motorcycle can do because I'm married now. I dated the crap out of it, right? So because of that, I'm never concerned with the cones because the cones is also a curb, a hydrant, a car, people. Once I look this way, I can still see here. I don't really need to, but I can. When I turn my head and my eyes, the trajectory of my bike is going that way. The only way those cones are going to be a factor is if I do this. But I'm not gonna do that. Remember, when you turn, hold the turn. Now, I saw some of you guys, that's why I have you guys turn into that last exercise. I saw you coming up to me. Some of you were going too fast. I was going slow down, and you were going, screw you, the speed's fine. I get it, I told you, your comfort's always gonna take over. And some of you guys, when you were going slow, your handlebars are doing this. Why is that happening?
Not enough clutch.
It's actually too much power, incrementally. Because what you're doing is, if it's not enough power, it's never gonna go back straight. It's just gonna keep going like this. So what you're doing is you're giving power. Every time you give power, it's doing like this. It always wants to go straight. That's why you need to find a good spot and just hold it there. And that's what I'm always trying to do, and that's what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna demonstrate this 3 ways. I'm gonna go straight through, head and eyes, turn. I'm gonna be going slower than you have to go just for demonstration purposes. And then I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop there, I'm gonna stop here. And then lastly, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna make the turn, smooth stop. Okay? All right. First gear. Covering the rear brake. Oh, it sounds so good. Preload. Foot up. All right, clutch is good. Rear brake is good. Head nice. Hold the turn. Hold the turn. Right in the middle. Smooth stop. Friction brake, clutch, clutch, clutch. Going straight through. Now I'm gonna start with my head and eyes turn because I'm already here. Preload. This is gonna, if I'm this close, 2 rear brake, just like I showed you earlier. 2 rear brake. Hold the turn. Friction brake. Woo! Smooth stop. All right, now I'm gonna do another smooth stop over there. 2 rear brake. Hold the turn, keep it loaded. Friction brake, clutch, 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 clutch. Smooth stop. Friction brake, friction brake, friction brake. Ah, terrible stop. All right. 3 things determine the radius of a turn on the motorcycle. Shannon, give me one of them. Speed, number 1 contributing factor to wide turns. Vanessa?
The absence of speed, like the braking?
That's speed.
Oh, okay.
Leaning.
Lean angle, one more thing.
Wheelbase.
Handlebar turn. Speed, handlebar turn, lean angle. These are the 3 things that determine the radius of a turn on the motorcycle. So, with that being said, if I start from right here, what do I have to introduce to make this turn? Handlebar turn. Like I did earlier with you guys, I got to start with the handlebar turn, right? What if I start here? What do I got to introduce? What do you say? What do you say, prayer? That's awesome, man.
Leave the motorcycle there.
What do I have to introduce? Anyone? Bueller? Lean. So I got to start with the handlebars turn, and I got to introduce lean. How do I introduce lean from a standstill? Drop and catch. Drop and catch, right? See how all of this connects? All right, we good? Questions? Remember, 0 lean. All right, let's do it.